Welcome to Fandom and Night, brought to you by Nerd Alert News. I'm Tashay.
And I'm Melissa. We want to thank everybody for coming out and joining us tonight.
Please give a warm welcome to our special guest, world-renowned paranormal investigator, Nick Groff. Thank you for being here with us, Nick.
How you doing? No, thanks for having me on. I appreciate all the support, all the love that everyone's given to supporting everything that I've been doing, and just a lot of passion has gone into all the projects and everything that's coming out right now, and all the promos we're releasing and pictures, and just it's been a long time. It's been like months of build up, so it's just been a crazy world, and I'm just excited to release everything right now and finally allow people to experience it too at the same time.
Oh, we could be
really looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, it's strange with how everything kind of, how the universe kind of stopped for everybody's life right now, I think, but for me, I was lucky enough to film a ton last year, at the end of last year, and then even throughout this year, I still had the opportunity to do a ton of things. So I didn't stop. I'm one of those people that I can't. I mean, we created the G Crew even before like the crazy COVID thing happened, and we already rocking and rolling with that. And then, I was editing nonstop on Deathwalker, and then we were preparing for our live event coming up for the Conjuring House there, and it's just been crazy. So we're excited.
We are too. We couldn't be more excited to help you promote it, and we're just so glad you're here. But for our viewers that don't know what Vidi Space is, can you tell us a little bit about it, how it got started, and how it evolved to what it is?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, we just wanted to get out of the scenario of going to cable networks and always trying to present them with projects or passion projects. And, we're really paranormal driven. So it's a streaming platform that we created and we started. I was one of the co-founders along with Elizabeth Saint and Justin Aragon. And, it was this idea that just stemmed from, we just wanted great content to come and people to come together and present that as filmmakers and artists and people that were passionate for what they believed in and keeping it real. And I think we were just kind of burnt out with the whole scenario of, allowing politics or people or in positions to try to subdue our projects for obvious reasons. So, and I really wanted to push a little bit harder on that and give people the opportunity, because I've met a lot of people that just haven't had that next step, to really branch off or really get that exposure they need for their project. And a lot of blood, sweat, and tears goes into a lot of these projects, a lot of belief and ideas and theories. And
it really does.
So I think that's where it kind of originated from. We wanted everything to be live in the beginning. And then we learned really quick, shooting 11 live shows at once was very complicated. So we took a step back, and then Elizabeth formulated the whole thing into Vidi Space. And now what you see is this kind of original content, stuff that we've acquired from multiple distributors around the world. There's over 500 films. There's tons of original content that's being produced. It's amazing. So it's kind of turned into its own thing. I call it like another space in the universe where people can go and just, energetically collab together and just show their art, show, their stuff off that they're doing. And that's kind of what it's become.
You guys had a film festival for that not too long ago, right?
Yeah, it was the first Vidi Space Film Festival down there in Virginia. It was awesome. And it was really fun. We had in the movie theater, people came together, filmmakers showed their films. We had a grand prize winner, and so many people won awards. It was just a really fun time. So that was our first annual year. Next year, it's going to be online. So pretty much more people can attend and see it, obviously because of the situation of how the world is right now. But I think that's the future of everything. I see a lot of comments of, why aren't you on TV? What about TV? But we are on TV. All you have to do is cast it
everywhere.
Yeah, I know, pretty much. I am. I still have Ghost Adventures is still going strong. I saw they were rerunning all my old episodes that, I co-created that show, and they're season 1 through 10. It's been crazy. I never thought that would turn into what it is. And then Paranormal Lockdown, still running strong in the United Kingdom right now. It's the number 3 rated series. I think in the UK, still running right now, up against all the new shows.
Both of them since they
Yeah.
started. So.
Yeah, it's wild. Like, I don't know. I just come from the roots of, you go out there and you're passionate about like your conceptual idea that you want to put out there and present to the world, and you document and you create a narrative story and you tell that story, but you tell it genuinely from the heart and real. And, you know, I tried really hard on all those projects, anything I've ever been involved in. And then from there, if anything great happens from it, awesome. And you just continue that path for a bit. You know, life is life, and you just ride that journey, and it's a roller coaster ride. So I've been lucky enough to be on several of them that have just kind of taken off, and it's kind of interesting to see them kind of turn into their own phenomena and following.
I mean, you can definitely see your passion in everything that you do with it. I mean, it is very evident.
Yeah, that's all I got. I don't know. As I get older too, I think I'm just getting one of those, like, those individuals that I just want to wake up every day that I'm breathing and just put like all my effort into anything I'm presenting, doing throughout the day until my body gives up and I have to go to sleep for a little bit, and I wake up and do it again. And the reason is because I learned that I want to have no regrets. I want to fulfill everything I possibly can to my highest potential, to really just evolve all of us as human beings, not to prove anything, not to disprove anything, not to like try to push it in your face or say this is what it is or that is what it is, and like divide people. I want to bring people together. I want to collab. I want to be fascinated by the conversations of stories we can share with one another. I just want to like ripple effect this universe for a positive, you know, and that's really my beliefs and how I kind of flow through the world right now. And I'm taking it as it comes, but I'm extremely hard work at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely evident. And so I love that, you know, bringing everyone together. And you did a lot with that, with the Feartober. Can you give us a little insight on what's going on with all those events that's coming up? The Conjuring House is in part of it too.
Yeah. So really exciting news. We announced that Feartober, we have multiple shows, multiple series coming out. We have Shocktober, which is this haunted experience. So it's a really awesome haunted house. You can get your tickets now, be part of the experience. I was one of the guests on there. You get to watch me go through this. It's a real haunted location, but they transformed it into a haunted house. So I go through this location and they follow me with cameras, and it's just really fun to do. I love haunted houses. So it's like, and you know, anything that like with haunted, unexplainable is cool with everything I do, but I actually really enjoy going through a haunted house that is all made up and people jumping out and stuff like that, because it takes a lot to scare me. I don't really get scared, but I'll tell you what, I jumped one point. I jumped at one point walking through, and it was this air compressor that I had my arm down here and just went and blew on the side of me. I was like, what the heck? That got me. So you get to watch that. It's fun. Yeah, you can go on Vidi Space and you can get your ticket. Nikki Blonsky's on it. She's one of the guests, myself. You get to see a POV interaction walking through it. But the other thing that I'm excited about is we announced that we're doing a live. It's a seance revisited. So it's exact same seance on the exact same night, October 30th, exactly when Ed and Lorraine Warren did their seance at the Conjuring House, to try to contact and get a little bit closer to this entity that was going crazy on this family that was living there and tormenting them. And the mother of the family actually was thrown into the other room during that seance, and they said it was one of the scariest things they've ever done. So we decided to team up with great people. We have Dan Class coming out. I have Lee Kirkland, Jennifer Kirkland. I got Corey and Jennifer from the Conjuring House. They're really good friends of mine at this point. Corey is the owner, and Jennifer, and just great people. We got John, Joe. I mean, there's so many people coming out. Megan is a good friend of mine. She's going to be doing a ritual to open up the doorway to the spiritual energy and making contact with the entities at the beginning of our live, and then pretty much we're going to build towards this seance together after I conduct my investigation. So you'll see me investigating the Conjuring House, going through it, and using the geoport, using different devices to try to make contact, and everyone will be able to experience this live wherever you are in the world. Tickets are available right now. It's only $5 for 3 days, 24/7 live access. So starting on October 29th, you can just watch inside the Conjuring House all day, all night, leading up to 6 p.m. on October 30th. you will see us enter the house and we will start to go investigating mode. But here's the crazy thing is, some crazy stuff happened the other day, and we're about to release this right now. I was over there all weekend, and my cousin Justin and I, who's going to be the cameraman too, who helped me film Deathwalkers, and we were filming, and I decided to bring my good friend out, Bob from Bone Finder, and it's crazy what we discovered. We discovered some interesting things by using his ground penetrating radar in the back, because there's been several stories about soldiers and stories about bodies being buried and stuff like that. So I decided to go a little bit further than other people, and you know how I am,
right?
yeah. So brought my good friend in, and basically he was helping us scan the property and stuff, and we're going to reveal some really interesting stuff. But yeah, you got to tune in to see during the live, and the seance is going to be wild.
That's been the most exciting thing that I saw from all of the stuff that you sent. I've been so excited about that.
I know.
Y'all announced all this, and I'm just like, oh my God, I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Spread the word. I mean, here's the thing, like sometimes like Halloween specials are limited. Like I've done them in the past for cable networks, like 7 Hours Live. I've done all this stuff like in different territories. But I think what's exciting about this is, for one of the first times ever, people from all over the world can watch at their homes on their phones, their TVs. If you have Roku, if you have Amazon Fire TV, you can download the Vidi Space app and you can watch it. It's going to be wild, and you can get tickets right now and have access to all that stuff. The link for the ticket is up. Yep. So I'm excited. I'm just excited because I've been there 4 times now, and we really are diving deep, and now I'm like really in it. So I was at the house, and I don't know, it's just interesting. It's almost become like the Hinsdale house too for me. There's like a weird connection. They're both very familiar in the way that they have ley lines, the underwater running water, you know, the streams, also the land, the property. It just has this energy about it. There's this formation of rocks in the back that nobody knows how they were placed there before the house was there. The house is over 300 years old. It was the old Arnold estate at one time. It's very just ancient land. You know, you have the Native Americans in the area. There's just a lot of history there and a lot of mystery behind what exactly happened there. And I think that's what intrigues me the most, because there's UFO accounts there. There's obviously ghosts. There's this entity that they don't know who exactly it is, but it's almost like manifesting and taking form into what it wants to kind of mirror that back to individuals that come into the house based on fear or whatever energy you're giving off. So
Whatever it needs to be.
yeah, I'm just so excited. I don't know. It's just been a while since I've been like, all right, this is like a real passion project. And the people there are just so cool to work with. They're all really nice. I got my buddy too, Josh. I got to give out to a shout out to Josh. Exploring with Josh on YouTube. Check out his stuff. He goes to a lot of abandoned locations all over the world, but he has a great following, and he's going to be a part of this too. He's been down there hanging out with us, filming it for his YouTube channel too. And he'll also be a part of that. So we're excited.
Josh and Johnny Hauser have an investigation too, right?
Yeah. So we got, Josh Hurd, Johnny Hauser, Malvern Manor, and right near the Axe Murder House down there in Iowa. They're putting together this amazing doc right now, and we're going to be releasing that on Vidi Space. We have a ton of stuff coming out. I'm finishing up on Ghost Finders, new special coming out too, on the Winchester Mystery House. So I was lucky enough to go out there, help them produce it with Dan Class. He brought me out with Rob, Dan, Megan. They're a great team. Sydney was part of the team too, and Jim. And it's just amazing. I love the Winchester Mystery House. I've been there several times, but it was awesome to get behind the camera, film them, and organically like create this beautiful cinematic piece on the Winchester, telling the story about her, but allowing them to tap in and do what they do best on Ghost Finders. So we're releasing that too. I think people are going to really enjoy it. There's just so much coming out. And then
I got really lucky. I got to go to the house last year before all the COVID stuff started, and got to check that off my bucket list. And it's beautiful and interesting, and there's some really cool history there. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I got a funny story about Winchester. So I actually was born right around the corner of San Jose, California. I moved when I was 1, but my grandparents lived really close there. So I've been there a lot, as a kid. And then I didn't know I was going to be doing this as I got older. But my first time back there when I was older and actually investigating was Ghost Ventures. So I remember going in, and it was ridiculous, right? Because we were 3 like young 20-year-olds inside the Winchester Mystery House. They allowed us to be locked down by ourselves, and they left. I remember the door shutting. We're in there. We're standing there. We're looking at each other. I remember Aaron, Zach, and I were looking at each other, and I go, all right, forget investigating for a second. Like, just look at where we are. I said to them, let's play hide and go seek for an hour. That's it. And then I just go, and I ran off. And I remember Aaron trying to look everywhere for me. And I was like hiding up in like this secret seance room somewhere, like in like different staircases.
With the secret door.
Yeah. I was like, don't walk down that door, you'll fall. I'll never forget that story. It was amazing, but it was a good time. No, I mean, like those are great memories, looking back at some of that stuff. But honestly, one of the most challenging things I've ever done was paranormal lockdown, living at locations for 3 days, isolating myself there. But, all of them are like very passionate and deep to me. But I think Deathwalker, the new series I have coming on Halloween, the whole series hits America domestically for Halloween, and then it goes worldwide to the United Kingdom and all over the place, different places, possibly cable television, streaming platforms, just everywhere all over the world. So we're excited because, we get to launch it on Vidi. We get to do it our way. And, I really want it to be raw. I want it to be genuine. I didn't want to be cut down for commercials or ads or whatever the heck you want to call it. You can get the whole series for $9. I mean, it's super cheap. It's cheaper than cable. People think it's more expensive. It's cheaper than cable. It's, hey, you pay so much money for cable. You get so much money for streaming platform. I mean, for the whole season, I just wanted to keep it like, keep the price down, keep everything down, for the people. It's really what I wanted to do. Obviously, I'm just really passionate about this project because I feel like it's a next step forward, not just for my journey and myself, but also for the paranormal. I think we're missing the elements of just creating conversations with each other. I think we're trying so hard to be like in that serious realm of like hitting with equipment and this is what it is. You know what I mean? I miss like the organic conversations where we can talk about paranormal discussions, right? We can talk about our experiences, or we can share stories, or we can talk about out of the box thinking, conceptual ideas. And really that's what Deathwalker is about. It's a journey that I'm going on myself. It's just myself and my cousin Justin filming me. That's it. No other crew members, nobody. So Justin and I hit the road for 11 days, and we went to 10 different locations. And over those 10 different locations, we compared 2 locations together to create this narrative story to show that evidence being documented at one location, the other location has some interesting facts to back up like some of the things that are happening there, to show that like it's just not kind of like a needle in the haystack anymore. I think there's more to what's happening, Yeah, the history, but we go deep, like we go a little bit deeper. We go deeper into like the idea, mostly about theories, right? About time and space. So we go into a lot of, why are we making contact with this spirit in solitary confinement at this location in complete darkness when nobody's here, and we're hearing intelligent voices coming back, being very specific to what that individual needs or whoever we're communicating with right now. But then I started thinking, wait a second, what happens if we're talking to somebody that's actually alive right now, back in the 1800s or whenever the area is that he's living right now? Because if you think about it, time doesn't exist. We create time as human beings because we grow older, right? And then we die. We're born, we die, we go through this middle part of our life, we collect information, we put into our conscious thoughts and everything, we have energy, and we release that out of this body. So what happens if this person in solitary confinement is talking, but he's vulnerable, he's been locked down there, loses all his senses, and he can tap into something else in his brain where that ability becomes focused, where he thinks he's going crazy because he hears my voice coming through and he's like, wait, I just heard, do you need water? Yes, I need water. I'm thirsty. I'm dying down here. And I hear through my geoport, I need water. When I'm asking, do you need water? or you hear yes, or you hear just different ideas coming through. And then it was almost validation to a specific question I asked at this one location in this episode. And it made me think that I think there is something else to it than just like, oh, we're dealing with a ghost or someone is dead and that is Joe Smith or whatever. We're dealing with something with time. Time is bending. And I feel like, you know, a lot of the communication is they think we're ghosts, we think they're ghosts, and vice versa. But specifically, I think sometimes it's just us communicating on a different realm. Sound doesn't stop, you know, sound travels and can continue. I think space, I think the universe we live in, there's a lot of weird stuff. You can just jump down the rabbit hole and start, you know, throwing out theories and ideas, and but it creates a conversation. And I feel like that's all I wanted to do on Deathwalker, is create a conversation and make you think a little bit deeper than just, this is what happened in a cookie cutter formula. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a different perspective that it's refreshing to see, and it's really cool that you've taken this path with it.
Yeah, thank you. It means a lot to me. Like I said, you know, I'm passionate. Deathwalker releases Halloween for America. But stay tuned, because it's going to hit United Kingdom and every other territory you can think of. So we're excited about this next step. I think it's the right move. You know, it's the timing too. Everything's about timing. Speaking of time, that's a real thing. And in the world of this kind of weird filmmaking and, you know, creating content and stuff like that, when you go to distribute, it's kind of interesting, you know, but I've been doing it for over a decade, and I'm just excited for this next phase of my life.
That's awesome. Where do you want to take it when it goes from this season to the next? Is there some place that you haven't been that you want to go?
I want to do everything. What I'm starting to realize is paranormal is everything, meaning everything within the unknown. So I've been talking about this a lot. I feel like we're forgetting that cryptid isn't just cryptid over here in the box with the cryptid people, and the UFOs aren't just UFOs over here with the ufology people, and then we got ghosts and so on. We're like trying to separate so many different things so we can define so many different things and break it down. I think the paranormal is just the paranormal, the unknown is just the unknown. I think they're all connected, you know, and I would love to explore everything. Everything is really what I'm interested in, as far as anything that's unexplainable or fascinating to me, that I can try to discover something new with these theories or ideas or technology, and just kind of dive a little bit deeper and pull back the layers so I can get to the core of why some of these places are haunted, or why do these things happen, or let's create a conversation on it.
Absolutely. Is there locations that you've been thinking about?
Yeah, there's tons of them. We have a list of over 400 locations. Mostly all of them haven't been done before. People don't know about. So we're excited to try to get out there and tackle some of these places. And I think there's a lot of places I would love to go to. Some I've been trying to for years. You know, sometimes it takes a really long time, depending on who owns them, what they're doing with the location. What management or company took them over, and some of them are just sitting there vacant, you know, and are dangerous, you know, probably with black mold and stuff like that. But so it's just a matter of time till I can get into some of these places and really see what happens.
I know we're looking forward to it.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's all about the journey. I don't know. Life is weird. It's like I was saying in the beginning, you know, I'm at a place where I feel really content finally, you know, and it's just like, you know, how you go through life and you're unsure on what you want to do and where you want to go. And I'm so hyper. Like my mind is like, let me do this, 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 this. No, I'm super focused. Like right now, I'm so focused. It's insane. So I'm like focused on, this is what has to be accomplished for this next thing to happen. And that has to happen for this one to go forward. So I've been just kind of driving my mind and my mentality into that realm of like pushing as hard as I can right now. I built up like a great friendship with so many different people, like Dan Class, my good friends, the Kirklands, you know, obviously my cousin Justin. I've been doing this forever. Elizabeth, who's doing, you know, Vidi Space with us. And it's just like, all of us have to kind of stick together, I feel, at this point. I feel like there's so much divided paranormal groups out there that it's unnecessary. And it's kind of disturbing to watch. I feel like I'm in middle school sometimes
Right? I
because
feel
I
like
get along with everyone. I'm like,
together.
Yeah.
who cares about ideas? Who cares about what t-shirt you're wearing? Who cares
Exactly.
about, it doesn't matter. It's like, man, we're all born into this world. You strip everything off of us. We're just naked as the next person. And we're here. We go through life. And whenever your time is to go, some sooner than later, like, you don't want to have to be like in this regret phase, like thinking through everything, saying, man, I wish I wasn't so materialistic. I didn't want all these objects, or why did I get all this stuff? Why do I feel this way? Like, do something greater, something that's going to impact, for the better. I feel some of the people that are born into this world, they're in poverty in third world countries, digging through trash. Like, they consider this hell. I think that's a real thing. And the reality is we're all, I mean, all of us for the most part are lucky enough to kind of go through, but it's our own choice to say, I want to do something better. I want to do something that's going to make us grow, evolve. um, do it for yourself. Don't do it for anyone else. Do it for yourself, to make an impact. So really, that's where I'm at. I don't know, I feel like I'm preaching sometimes too much.
Oh,
And
no,
I think
you're
that's
right. You're very right.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I feel like I'm just ready. It's like we're all kind of rising up together,
Mhm.
and we're just gonna conquer this, conquer this massive mountain together. And that's kind of what I'm about right now. I'm about, all of us just kind of doing our thing, but collabing and talking and doing stuff like this.
Exactly. I mean, if you can't do it together, then it's a whole lot less fun.
Yeah.
You accomplish a hell of a lot more by doing it together. I mean, look what you guys have created for this month alone.
Yeah, I know that. Honestly, we've been hustling every day. It's insane. Like, I haven't had much rest. I had like 4 hours of sleep last night, I think. And it's just I don't know, it's just like I've been editing crazy. My computer was all lagging up this morning. I was cutting this Conjuring promo, and I'm about to release it right after this, and I was like, why is my computer lagging right now? Like, like, I've edited all my life, and right now you got to be like, oh, I'm like, universe, come on, throw me a lifeline down there.
It's always when you need it the most. That's when it decides to do that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in what is it, the Truman Show or whatever, with
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, where he's like, come on. He like moves this way, just gets rained on all of a sudden. It's like a little cloud.
Follows him around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's life. Everything happens at once, right? It's like all these things happen at once, and you're like, today's one of those days. I'm gonna go to sleep, wake up, okay, boom, everything's great today.
Right, we gotta take it and roll with it.
Yeah, never give up though. I think that's the point of all this, is never give up.
Exactly.
Have you been somewhere that just kind of stayed with you and just, either for better or for worse, that you just kind of...
Yeah, Hinsdale House. So the Hinsdale House in Hinsdale, New York, Dan Class owns it. And we were lucky enough to gain access to the location. And that was our first location we filmed for Paranormal Lockdown. What was fascinating about that is Justin reached out to the owner at the time with somebody else, and he was about to tear it down. And then all of a sudden, Dan took over. We got passed on to him. We made him hold on to it for a month, and then they took over. And basically, we went there, and it was just weird because 2 weeks before going there, I didn't really know much information about the location, just based on what my cousin told me about. And I started having these weird dreams at like 2, 3 in the morning. I was woken up, and this lady was coming to me in my sleep, kind of warning me about the location in a weird way. And I made really kind of nothing of it, but I talked about it a little bit. Then I got there and I started talking to people like Tim Shaw, and he's like, that actually happens to everybody who's coming here. I was like, wait, what?
Oh,
Yeah. So I started having these visions of this person and, this entity. And I guess that happens to pretty much everybody.
gosh, that's insane.
Yeah. So we started, I don't know, it was weird. Like, the whole thing was weird. Our equipment didn't work for like 2 hours straight. Like, we were standing on the dirt road just to do a walk-up shot, and just
Oh,
none of the
wow.
equipment worked. So that happened. And then, just 3 days went by of just craziness. And, I don't know, like, it's like the location just kind of took me off guard, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, I had a recording of when I was up in Mary's room. I had that recording that I left on the dresser, and it said, "There's no heaven," the EVP, and that spirit voice coming through just kind of was like, "Huh, that's a little scary." In the morning, I hated laying and sleeping in that room, Mary's room. It was
Yeah.
oh, I didn't like it. It was just a weird feeling. It's like the energy up there is just bizarre. Especially I was alone in the house too, and it was just weird. It stuck with me when we left, and for a while it was almost like an obsession. I wanted to learn more. Like I wasn't done with that location, and I didn't understand why um it was just the house. I felt like it was more the land, and then we started discovering it's not just the house, it's the land, and there's something more ancient there. Time went by. I ended up going back there because there was a connection back to the Pontefract in England, the Black Monk House, and Hinsdale pointed to that, or whatever, the connection was weird, just based off an intelligent response I got at my own house, and stuff followed me to my old house too. On my security camera, I captured this mist and some weird stuff that happened. And then I went back to the Hinsdale house, and then a while later, I think a little bit later, I actually right away, I gained access to, I bought the life rights and book rights to Claire Danny's book, Echoes of a Haunting. And I talked to Claire in great detail and befriended her. And I mean, she's a wonderful person. She shared her whole story of living there in the 1970s and what happened to her family. But it was everything about that location that intrigued me, from the paranormal accounts, as far as the UFO encounters go. She had UFO, like spaceships hovering over her when she's going out to her well to get water in the wintertime. Apparition seen down by the pond. This weird conspiracy about this pond and this barn. The deaths on the property, and then the mystery behind like a lot of the legends too. And we just started like digging deeper. So what I did is, you know, I teamed up with Dan, and for the last 5 years, we've been working together. He's done an amazing job bringing that place back to life, and the restoration and everything he's doing. Check out his page and help support it, because it's the type of places like that and the individuals like that that keep locations like that going. And I just went back there recently and did a live investigation there that was broadcasted on Vidi Space, and streamed over all the platforms. And basically, I did this kind of thought form experiment with a group there, where we were thinking about our energy and drawing out the entity. And it was so strange, because at that moment, something came from the land into the house and everything went quiet. It
Oh,
was
wow.
super creepy. You can see it up on Vidi, but it was just weird. So I've been working with Dan. We've been putting together a documentary. It's coming out at the beginning of the year. It's the most cinematically amazing thing. It's like True Detective meets a real investigative show. And this just really pulls back the layers, and you're gonna be amazed of what we discovered there, because no one could figure out through generations. So I'm excited about that. We're gonna announce it soon.
Yeah.
Wait for that.
Yeah, but the Hinsdale house, to answer your question, is
Oh, thank
is
you.
that location. To sum it up.
Well, that was quite a story.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to it, but I'll leave it at that. It's intriguing enough to just watch what's coming, because it's going to be epic.
Yeah, I can't wait for that to come out.
Yeah, I'm excited. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Just a lot of projects. I'm just excited about all the stuff that we have in the works right now, and I think that they're all different. And I think that's really what it needs is the Conjuring Live, you know, the Seance Revisited on the same night Anne Lorraine Warren in 1973 did their seance, and the same exact moon. It's going to be the same moon too, that it happened when they did it.
I mean, that's
So
was meant to happen.
yeah, exactly. I know. We were thinking about it. You know what it was? I went to the location just to visit it, because my buddies, that Lee and Jennifer Kirkland, they were in town. They were there, and they're like, "Come on down." And I know Corey's reached out to me a bunch, the owner. So I don't live far from it. You know, I live about an hour, 20 minutes from the location. So I drove down there. Out of all these years, you know, I grew up over here, and I've never been. And I don't know. It was just weird. I was like, oh, it's a calling. It's time. I need to investigate this place. And that's how it kind of started.
I mean, it's exactly what happened. It wanted you
Yeah.
to do it.
Yeah, and at the specific time too. But you can blame the Kirklands. You can blame Lee, my buddy, for making me go there.
Well, we can't thank you enough for stopping by, but it looks like we are running out of time. Is there any parting words you want to give your fans or any Vidi Space viewers?
Yeah, thank you for the support. Thank you for all the love, and just still after all these years, continuing to just kind of following my journey and stuff like that. And I'm just excited just as much as everybody else. And I feel like everybody's right there on the ride with me as I'm going through these crazy kind of decrepit locations and just pulling back the layers. And I don't know, it's just sometimes I step back and say, I'd rather have nothing in my life, meaning materialistic things, but have all of this for everybody, because I think that's what's everlasting.
Yeah.
And I think I'd rather be in that position moving forward, just making stuff that's going to be remembered forever,
It has been so wonderful talking to you tonight, Nick. I'm so glad you came on.
Yes, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Yeah. And I love your hat. Family business.
Thank
That's
you.
right.
Yeah.
Rock on. That's cool. Awesome.
And thank you for joining us on Fandom at Night with Nerd Alert News. Bye.
Don't go anywhere just yet, because we have video promos for Deathwalker and Shocktober coming up right after this. Also, we added links to all of the events discussed tonight in the description below, so check it out and click the subscribe button to keep up with all of the latest from Nerd Alert News and Fandom at Night.
Guys, is anybody joining us for the funeral? Journey into the unknown with me as I explore infamous locations around the world impacted by paranormal activity. While investigating haunted claims, I will push forward and use my years of experience to expand the definition of paranormal phenomena to reveal theories beyond the unknown.
I don't believe in ghosts. I never have.
And we can speculate all day long.
I'm shocked when you showed me that.
So I don't know how much of the haunting is created by us or the dead.
Psychic energy that we're releasing out.
When you are seeing a ghost, what you're really seeing is just someone in the past.
We dealing with something where it's energy from somebody passing away and it's a tragic death.
Brought to you by Vidi Space. You're cordially invited to the historic Karlheim Manor. You're about to discover what lies beyond the deepest, darkest corners of your television and computer screens.
Oh, hello everybody out there in virtual land.
Join us for a night that you'll never forget.
So glad you invited us into your home, but be careful. We may never leave.
Get your tickets now.